From early childhood, I was enchanted with color, light, texture, form, and the world of nature about me. Our backyard, though small, afforded ample room for discovery. The simplest seasonal events were treasured gifts to my curious mind. Glistening dew on delicate summer flowers, spirals of smoke during leaf-burning autumn time, the noble character of trees, their branches laid bare in winter, the first crocus birthing themselves in spring. The fuzzy caterpillars I befriended would tickle my sensitive fingers, and the silver tracings left by my mother's garden snails were an ongoing source of mystery to me. Upon the arrival of our first issue of Audubon magazine, I became intrigued with photography as a medium through which to celebrate the wonders of nature. However, years passed before I realized the significant role which photography would play in my life. During the 1970s, while working for a broadcast station in North Carolina, I encountered a terrible brush with blindness. The culprit was a massive detached retina. Given the severity of my condition, there were no guarantees as to the surgical outcome. During a fearful recuperative period in hospital, I found myself journeying backward to the security of my childhood. With eyes bandaged amidst total darkness, I began to envision images of curly caterpillars, pristine water lilies, and richly painted autumn leaves. How I longed to visually experience these natural delights again. While anxiously waiting for the bandages to be removed, I vowed that if my eyesight were restored, I would follow a passion which had long remained neglected in my life. I would embrace photography, both as a means of celebrating nature and as an expression of heartfelt gratitude for the cherished gift of vision. My eyesight was restored, and my tool of creativity became a manual 35mm Pentax camera with macro lens. Wandering through natural environments, I photographed the images which inspired me. Avoiding tripod, flash, and filters, I chose to spontaneously capture each image in the magical joy of the moment. A pivotal turning point in my life arose when, at the behest of family and friends, I began to exhibit at art festivals, galleries, expos, and events. Eventually, Hummingbird Studios evolved, with its focus on offering photographic artwork to inspire the spirit and refresh the soul of those who resonate with nature and the environment. You are cordially invited to view the Hummingbird Studios gallery collection at www.hummingbird-studios.com, where I'd love for you to consider a personal selection or choose a gift for a friend. Let me take a moment to mention that hummingbirds have been a source of spiritual significance during my entire lifetime. A question which people frequently ask is why I chose Hummingbird Studios as the name for my business. There are several reasons, actually. During the initial setup and organization process where my business was concerned, a number of appealing names came to mind. However, the name Hummingbird kept hovering about the periphery of my consciousness and engaging my attention to an extent that was impossible to ignore. I've been enchanted with these iridescent creatures since I was a little girl, and my fascination has continued throughout my adulthood. Whenever I see hummingbirds at my feeder or sipping nectar from my garden flowers, I'm reminded of the importance of reserving personal time for quietude, to linger in the beauty of nature, to re-energize my life at deep, significant levels. Their sparkling presence reminds me to celebrate the magic of being alive and dwelling in the joy of the present moment. As someone once described it, there's something inside the soul of each of us that longs to soar through sunbeams and dance mid-air as hummingbirds are known to do. Of greatest significance to me, given their backward flight motion, it might be considered that hummingbirds invite us to visit the past in order to release it and inwardly heal, while awakening to the sacredness of the here and now. That's what Hummingbird Studios and my photography is all about, celebrating life and the joy of the moment through my love of nature and the creation of my photographic images. Under the circumstances, what more appropriate business name might I have chosen? And so Hummingbird Studios it became. As I traveled through woodlands, seaside, and urban settings, the creative expression available through the use of my camera and macro lens became the source which ultimately empowered me following the period encompassing my surgery and the gradual return of my eyesight. I might add, however, that although sections of my retina were reattached, my entire vision was not salvaged. Although grateful for eyesight, I remained frustrated and angry where my initial inability to visually compensate was concerned. As I ventured out to photograph elegant magnolias, multicolored butterflies, and fireworks blazing across the darkened skies, I found myself becoming focused enough to understand the importance of letting go of my anger so that I might inwardly heal and embrace life to its fullest once again. Life is process, and change is inevitable. I began to realize that I could take those changes and resentments, which had begun to erode my sense of wholeness, and turn the lemons of the past into lemonade. With this new change in attitude, I began to experience a reverence for myself as a unique creation, with talents and gifts to share with others while on this earth. As my self-esteem and confidence returned, my life became much more harmonious, and I learned to approach the world without imposing as many conditions or demands upon it. Gradually, situations arose which presented opportunities for me to share my experiences to benefit others. This reintegration of myself with myself could have transpired through other channels, but it was that ongoing series of humble interactions between myself, my camera, and the world of nature about me, which ultimately empowered, healed, and created wholeness within my life. During these times of perplexing uncertainties, and amidst your own hectic schedules, I invite you to create your own sacred space through cultivating time and interests which bring true joy and authentic meaning into your own lives. Devote time each day to interact at deeper levels with your hearts and souls. Use this year, irrespective of the month, to revise your agendas so that you might create the time to celebrate with simple reverence the truly wonderful, magnificent, and talented individuals residing within each of you.